Right.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to our first ever pre-show podcast. I'm here with Paul and Tess. I am Lindsay.
I'm Tess.
Yeah.
And
Paul
I'm
and
Paul.
Tess. I'm Mike. And Lindsay's behind the scenes. All right.
How's it going, guys?
I mean,
what are we gonna
yeah.
talk about on our first pre-show podcast.
I think we just got back from what is our industry's biggest show of the year, which was in Las Vegas this year, the NAB show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so at NAB this year, you guys got to host the NAB show. But first, I want you to break down what the NAB show live is and what was like your day to day.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
It was okay. So NAB Show Live is the official live stream for NAB, and it's hosted on the main webpage. So that was pretty cool to be able to be featured there. And yeah, they streamed all day.
Yeah, I was incredible. That's actually what I did the first NAB show we ever did. I was so excited. Our first NAB show, I'm going to say it was 2014 or 2015. I was so excited that from our booth, I bought the internet, which internet at NAB costs like
Oh my
$5,000.
gosh, you did.
And I just streamed all day long. So people would walk up to the booth and be like, "Hey, can I see what you're doing?" And I'd be like, "You're live. What are you doing?" And then like, people would walk like straight away.
Really?
I realized, I think I did it for like 2 years until I realized you can't do that.
Yeah, people didn't like that, huh?
Oh.
That was before you had live view, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with NAB is that and I think this is true for almost everyone I've talked to, is like when you get into live streaming and production and broadcast, you learn what you learn. Maybe you take a Udemy course, maybe you do blood, sweat, tears at YouTube. You learn, maybe you have a mentor, maybe you're just a genius, you learn all this stuff yourself. But most people, especially in the industry, go to this show, get their hands on the tech, talk to the people, see what's new, and that's how they keep up with the industry, and it's where they learn a lot of the stuff that they know.
Yeah, I think you're right. We've met a lot of people doing a lot of different things too.
Yeah. So how was this? And I mean, we can go back to the first question, but before we do, what was it like the first time versus this time?
The very first time we
Yeah.
went to NAB? Do you want to talk about your first time?
Because you guys were in like t-shirts, like baseball
Yes.
caps, and this time,
Yeah.
like you went full like blazer girl
I
mode.
did. Yeah, I really like put attention into my outfits this time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Personal
I saw a lot of
stylist?
other women there did too. Like
Oh yeah.
everybody looked really put together.
Some people have personal stylists, right?
Yes. Remember Nikki's son?
Yeah,
He
I
had a
mean,
personal stylist.
although I do remember in 2019, the first time we were able to host the NAB show, and we actually had a makeup artist who like put our makeup on
that was cool.
during the show. I think that if you are outgoing and you go out and you shake people's hands, and you can actually meet so many great people, and that's exactly what happened to Tess and I. So we didn't know anybody in the industry, nobody knew us, and we came in, hey, here we are, PTZOptics, and then year after year after year, till about 4 years in, we were invited to host the official NAB show live stream. And then here we are. Now, of course, the pandemic happened and the show was canceled, and then it was postponed. And then here we are so now in 2019, there was over 100,000 people. This year in 2023, it was 64,000. So it's not quite where it used to be, but still really, really, really packed. And one thing a lot of people don't realize about NAB is that the exhibit, everyone thinks, oh, there's all these companies, there's all these cool products, and I can't wait. But there's also a whole educational portion of NAB where people go to classes. And so that's one of the main reasons why people in the broadcast and live streaming industry, their employers will pay for them to go, because they get training.
That makes a lot of sense. I remember our first year, my first year was actually Michael's first year as well. He came with us too. And I think we set up a little studio area for him to produce from.
Yep.
We had a LiveView, an LU600 at that point, and we streamed most of the day still at that point from our booth.
I remember we would put together just an incredible list of interviewees. And one of the things that helped us a lot, now I'll say this for anyone watching or anyone who's putting together their own live stream, the guests that you bring on, when you look back at a year of live streaming, you go, oh, like I met so many people throughout that time. And it's really great business development, relationship building tool. Although now what we do is we just have a vlog, and it's just like shoot the videos, put them all together into a 5 to 10 minute video and post it on YouTube. You don't have to stream all day long.
If we don't, for whatever reason, get invited back to stream for the NAB show officially next year, we should go back to doing our own stream.
Yes.
At least
I actually do sort of miss a little, and I kind of want to still do it. This year, you had a huge task on your plate, which was to fill 2 hours of each day of interviews and find out where we're going and build a map of where we're headed.
Yep. Yeah, that was crazy. We were able to invite a lot of the companies that we integrate with and partner with, so that was really beneficial to us. Hi, Chris, in the chat from Video Makers is here. Let us know where you're watching from if you're watching this on the live stream, because we are live, and we want to answer your questions.
It was great to see you, Chris. I saw your video on NAB was doing great, by the way. To prepare for this podcast and the show today, I did watch a bunch of YouTubers who were posting videos, which I thought was interesting because it's such a big show. Yeah. Everyone has a different experience. And Chris put together a very well thought out best products of NAB video.
Yeah, we were so proud to have been one of the honorees to have won for our new product, the Move SE, which you are going to get to take a look at today. I'm wondering if we have one set.
We do. I put them here.
Okay, good. Yay.
Mike's saying it sounds good.
My mic was a little bit quiet. We see you in the chat saying that. So we've got Brian sneak it in here.
Sorry, first podcast of the year.
First podcast since when?
Ooh.
Oh, man. It's been because like literally we haven't done a podcast since 2019.
The first Westchester office.
Yeah, we were in the
4
Westchester
years.
office. Was it in the front area?
I think so. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't here, but I've seen pictures.
Oh, I miss it a little bit.
Yeah,
Do
it
you
was
guys?
fun and it was crazy. I remember Tim from vmix came all the way from Australia
Oh my gosh, he
and
did.
joined our. Now, of course, to be honest, he was at NAB New York, so he was on. It's
Yeah.
not like he came just to see us,
Right,
but he
was
did come
close.
from New York to Pennsylvania to see us, and he dropped by some other people, David and Lori of Live Streaming Pros, when they were still together.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did. He dropped by.
Wow.
So
I didn't know he dropped by them too.
he
That's
does
pretty
some
cool.
tours of the United States sometimes, visits customers.
Thank you, Emmanuel, saying now it's fixed. Chris is saying it
Okay,
sounds
good.
great. Yeah, you got to let us know that stuff in the chat. We appreciate that.
It's kind of nice that they can let us know versus like if it was a recording and then our audio was terrible afterwards. I know
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of podcasters who they'll like start their podcast and be like, this is our third time recording because something went wrong.
Oh, no.
So yeah, thank you guys.
It happens.
Yeah.
I was just going to say something that I thought was pretty good, but I can't remember. Circle back to me on that then. It was about the podcast thing.
Well, since we're just reflecting, I will say, Tess, this year was the year when I was like, wow, Tess is like growing up. And I mean, it's funny when you get older because like, you know, you were right out of college when we first met and you started
Yup.
here. And to see you hosting the official NAB show live stream and me going like, hey, would you mind taking this one? Like, I'm like tired. And Tess is like, let's go. And just like knew everybody. I didn't even know where, because I was doing other things, but like Tess is like, this is where we're going and this is who we're meeting. And it was funny because we both would walk up and everyone would be like, Tess. And I'd be like, they all just like, I guess because you had communicated with them, but I was like, wow, Tess is like knows everybody now.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of planning that went into that
Yes.
to be able to have known everybody. But all the companies that we've worked with over the years, I just, you know, you've introduced me to most of them, and we've built our own little relationships.
Well, and that's true. And we have our core group of like a good, we like I'll just say like vmix, X Keys,
Yeah.
you know, Telestream, all the Black Magic. There are some of these companies that we really work closely with. But with the NAB show live, they really challenged us to work with first time members
Yes.
at NAB show, and then companies that like we just don't really work with a lot, like Edit Share, like video storage companies.
Yes.
So I didn't even know who these people were, but they were like, "Hey, Tess."
Yeah, they definitely. That's the best way. That's the best way to put it. They challenge us to think outside the box and find some other people to interview that maybe other attendees might be interested in, or people watching virtually, not just in our sort of circle.
Yeah.
So it was definitely enlightening to learn about some of these products, and some of them were really fun, like the camera holster.
Yes. That was a fun
and you got to
company.
wear
6x9 and another
16x9.
16x9. It's literally the company's called 16x9.
And now they're also like promoting 9x16
Are they?
tools and things like that. So isn't that funny?
Yeah, it was interesting to see a part of NAB I hadn't seen before, which is the like Hollywood side, where it's like cameramen with big cameras and backpacks, and it's like getting cinematic scenes of different things, kind of somewhere in between like an indie film and like Hollywood, where they're like, this camera lens is $50,000, and you're like, oh, that's my entire this whole studio that we have right now is less than that, right? We have like 4 or 5 PTZOptics cameras, 3 or 4 microphones, we've got a couple computers, but still less than this one lens that they use.
If you're watching in the chat again, just remember you can ask us questions because we are live. So let us know what you want to know about NAB.
So who ended up being your favorite interview?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Because there was so many great interviews that we did. I would say the one that I thought came off the best from my perspective is Tess. Your interview with Tim from vmix was hilarious. The vmix booth, literally, they have like these glass cases that like enshrine the vmix like history, and one of them is like the oldest living version of vmix, and it's this old computer, and vmix is actually running on it.
Yep. That is so funny that they have that kind of stuff. But that's the kind of stuff that's interesting at these shows.
I know.
It's different.
That you don't get to see online.
Exactly.
Or appreciate.
I really liked that. And then the X Keys one. Tess set up a perfect day. It was like PTZOptics VMX X Keys. That was like the whole day. Right?
Yeah, that was perfect. So your X Keys interview was really impressive, and
it did too,
and they did a great job too of walking us around the booth and showing us a lot of different things.
So you were able to make your schedule.
Yes. Now we had to visit certain booths who sponsored the show and things like that, but we got to make the whole schedule ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, I really also liked what I talked about, the 16x9 and that booth, because it was just fun and interesting, and I thought that the audience really would like that. But also, I'll tell you this, Epiphan's director of sales or director of product and sales or something, he was very well spoken, and he was like the best person to chat with. Like, he did a really good job of being interviewed.
Nice.
So I could definitely say that he was the best chatter.
You know what I still remember from last year with Epiphan? The feel of their business cards and their booklets.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
yeah, they brought that up actually. Their leather bagged books or whatever.
What was the best swag you saw?
Oh, the best swag? Oh, I don't know. I have to think about that
I
one.
remember Epiphan used to give away socks, and I kind of want to copy that for our next swag.
Yeah.
Do you hate that? Or is that?
No, I love socks.
Swag or socks are also another thing. It's like, oh my gosh, I only packed one pair or something.
Oh, you can always use extra socks. We gave out T-shirts too, which was good.
Yes,
but
we did.
I'm good with socks. The socks are good.
I have to bring the T-shirts are shipping right now somewhere probably, but you have to get your T-shirt, Lindsay.
My T-shirt. What's another fun swag that we've done?
I don't know. We've had some duds, but people love the sunglasses. The what?
The spinners.
Oh yeah,
the fidget spinners. Yeah,
and they like plug in. They're like
Paul
adapters.
Could have used one of those at the show this year.
Are they chargers or adapters?
They're chargers.
Huh. I don't think I ever used
Paul had to sneak around the show and find some good swag.
Oh, I remember. Oh, okay. We needed phone chargers, and so I had to like search for phone chargers that were coming in and about. Let me think here. So one of the things that I always try to do is have a vlog
Yeah.
And so it's on the Stream Geeks channel. Last year, we had some really fun ones where one of our employees jumped off the stratosphere with
Yes.
the
Levi.
We
bungee jumper.
did bully him into
And
jumping off the
so that was
stratosphere.
fun. This year, I like forgot my computer and I had my GoPro and my GoPro charger, my computer power supply. So I couldn't make the videos with my laptop. So I just did everything with my smartphone. And I was like sitting there and I was like, this is great. Like boom, 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 post it, done, right all through my phone. But I don't think the quality is quite as good as the GoPro with like Adobe Premiere.
Yeah, because you probably are forced to spend more time on it in there. But it was definitely convenient.
Oh my gosh! Honestly, I think I'm still probably going to continue to do that.
Do you want to share what the app name is?
Yeah, I used it. I didn't even know what app to use, and I downloaded
iMovie?
Splice.
Splice.
Oh, I've used
Shout out
Splice before.
Splice.
It was good.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, very long time ago.
Oh.
Yeah, back in whenever I would make little vlogs in high school, and I would use Splice and iMovie.
You're the perfect team member for us.
Little me. Ooh, here's a question. I just lost where I was. Also, if anybody noticed, I just choked on my matcha. Like the little powdery stuff that's in the matcha. Like I'm not coughing because I'm like
Are you okay?
sick. I just choked on matcha.
We don't want you choking.
Where is this? Oh, okay. I want to know what it meant for you guys as a company / brand, like the Stream Geeks brand, to host the NAB show again.
Ooh, it was fun. One of the moments, and I tried to capture some of this in the Stream Geeks vlogs, is I remember Tess and I went to the behind the scenes meeting rooms at NAB that I had never seen before.
Me neither.
There's just a few secret areas that no one gets to see, even if you're an exhibitor. Here's the way I look at it. If you're an attendee, you can't come in till Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're an exhibitor, you can come in, Thursday, Friday, Saturday when you're getting all set up. So you're like, oh, I can get in, but other people can't get in. But there's still the secret areas that only the NAB show attendee people are NAB show group, and we got to go into there, and Ryan Salzar, who's been in there 100 times for Broadcast Beat, rolls in with his flamboyantly colored Hawaiian shirt, and he's got a huge case of technology, and he rolls in, he's like, all right guys, time for the meeting. And we go in, and I'm like Tess, this is where magic happens over here.
It was legit.
So that was fun to see kind of some of those spaces that we had never seen before, and just kind of be like, it was interesting too, because like we go up to people and they'd be like, what are you guys doing with these giant cameras? And I was like, this is the official NAB show live stream. But there was no way to really know, because it was just 4 or 5 of us. There was a crew of 4 maybe with us.
4. Yeah, 4.
I was
plus us.
glad we had the crew, because
Me
there
too.
was a moment, I'll call Ryan out about this if he sees it. He's like, so you guys are just going to get a live view backpack and just stream it and send it to us? And we were like, no, we're going to get the camera crew to follow us and we're going to chill.
That we know you have.
Which, to your point, one of the questions, or one of the things that Tess and I realized, when we live stream with the backpack and everything, we go live for 2 hours, let's say.
Yeah.
And we just go live for the whole time, and it's fun. But with this, we had an in-ear monitor from the broadcast crew back at wherever they were in Florida, and they would be like, all right, commercial break, and then we'd be like, okay, everybody, we'll be right back. And then
I don't know how that would have worked.
Yeah, we wouldn't have, I don't know, I don't think we would be able to do that.
Able to break, that's for sure.
I would have been fine with it, kind of, because I do kind of like that, we're live the whole time, let's tell jokes in between, but it's kind of also very draining and a lot of more energy.
It's just rough on the hosts. And
so we were able to be
operator.
Commercial break, and then I don't even know what the heck they did, and then we would just be like, oh, okay, where are we going next? Go to where we are next, set up, and be like, all right, how much time do we have? And then they'd be like, all right, you got 30 seconds. And we'd be like, okay, and then go live again.
Right.
I think they show pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah.
They did.
I was going to say, if you watch the live stream, let us know what they played during those commercial breaks. Because I think it was pre-recorded stuff. Because I saw your pre-recorded stuff.
Oh, you saw our videos that we made.
Yeah. So what was your pre-recorded stuff? Or do you not know? They just...
I'm pretty sure it was
previous.
pre-recorded. Sometimes they would cut back to Ryan or whoever else was in the field, but I'm pretty sure it was pre-recorded for the most part.
Mini GP Racing is saying they teach an entire course on how to create videos with your phone. And the technology is only getting better. What I wanted in the beginning is like, I just want to record all these videos,
Right.
upload them to the AI, and have it spit out a video. And if it's half as good, I don't care because I didn't have to do anything. And then when I was using Splice, like halfway through, they were like, we have a new AI version. Do you want to use it? And then I was like, no, it's so easy with the touch screen and I get more control. And I was like, nah.
I don't need it
won't.
to be any easier.
Yeah, I was like, this is easy enough. I mean, it takes like 20 minutes.
Now AI is
I
going to
know.
video edit for us.
Taking all the creativeness out of all the creators out there who love to do their little videos.
Yeah,
I feel
not
like
a fan.
my art or like other people's art is going to be taken from
I mean,
AIs.
there's a lot of people too who are creators who just want to create and don't have the time to edit,
Yeah, a
Or
lot
don't-
of
yeah,
which
or
is
don't
where
have
I'm
an
at.
editor.
I'm like, because honestly, with my audience, and I honestly believe this for most people, unless you have 1 million followers, like there's 500 people who are going to see this,
Yeah.
or there's
Mhm.
2,000 people that are going to see this. Is that worth
16
extra-
hours of editing.
Yeah, 16 hours of editing. And because like literally, there's this thing called the diminishing return of value, where it's like, okay, a little bit of editing will make it a lot better. But then the first hour made it really good too. The second hour, the third hour, every extra hour you spend, it doesn't
Sure.
get that much better.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, good editing is good editing, and I'm not saying editing is not valuable. It's just that like, okay, no editing is horrible. A little editing, an hour of editing gets it way better, but then it doesn't get that
At
much
some
better.
point,
Yeah.
it's too much, and you're not getting a return on it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like, why don't you just make 16 videos with 16 hours instead of spending 16 hours on one?
Right.
I once spent maybe 12 hours on like 3 minutes of footage.
Oh no.
Because I was making like a little montage and like adding on these funny like little effects. It's a hilarious video for my friends and I to look back on. However, it took me like 12 hours and it sucked. But anyways, did you have a whoa we made it moment?
At the very end,
At the after everything.
after everything, I remember walking away together and being like, "Oh, we did it!"
Yeah.
and then getting kicked out of a happy hour.
I think I have a couple of pictures we can show real quick.
Yeah,
I don't know if
let's
we were
share
going to
some
do this during the
pictures.
live stream or
We can do both.
I don't know. I kind of want to hear about how you got kicked out of happy hour.
We just tried to grab. I was going to grab like a soda, and they were like, "No, you can't come here." But Mini GP Racing says AI has a place, but the finer work will still be done with people.
yeah, I agree.
I agree with that too. Oh, good. Paul still agrees. It means we have a job still.
So I don't know if Mike can show this PowerPoint. I should be coming through. But we have some pictures here that kind of show, because at the very end, I think there's a picture of us at the top of the world.
Oh yeah, that's fun with the whole team. Everybody can get a sneak peek at the team that we brought.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
love that
don't know if
picture
Mike's
with
gonna be able
that.
to show that or not. But
Did you stay at the West?
Oh, here we
this
go.
year?
We stayed at the Westgate, and I really liked it.
yeah, the West Coast is pretty good. It was so close. So this is Tess and I, and so this picture here, you can see the cameraman, and that's part of the broadcast studios. He's all battery powered.
Yep.
Everything's battery. That's a tough job, by the way.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
He's got a live view backpack. He's got a headset. He's got this really heavy camera, and then there's another guy who carries the tripod.
Yeah, and at some points he's got it shoulder mounted.
Yeah, and that he was always like, "No, I don't really want to do shoulder mounted. Like that's a little hard for me."
Right.
And then here's Tess with Epiphan.
Look at that fit. Fit check.
Yeah, it matched perfectly with the Epiphan, folks.
yeah. This is perfect. Like, do you work for Epiphan? Like,
Oh,
my
is that what's his name
God.
behind
Philip
us?
Sandler behind
No,
it.
no, the other guy. Is that Jeffrey?
Jeffrey Powers. I think that is Jeffrey Powers. Yeah,
That's funny.
he's there. Matt and I meeting with the president of NDI.
Oh, that's a great picture. What'd you talk about? Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh well, actually, NDI 6 was announced
Oh,
at
that's
NAB, so I
exciting.
don't believe that is like hidden knowledge.
So was that in West Hall?
Yes, that was the West Hall. We met with Audinate to
Kat.
talk about the new Dante camera.
Yeah, Kat's really smart. That girl.
Joey, this was a funny like random moment. We were
That's so
out and
funny.
about in town and took the monorail back, and then Joe from Central Control just literally just popped into the monorail behind us. This guy was hilarious.
Oh, so let's explain what that is for people on the podcast.
Shout out to John. This is he has created a shirt out of all of the
That's
lanyards
so
that he's
cute.
received over the years.
I thought he was wearing all of them.
No, they're sewed onto his shirt. He had a sweet wife too that's
Aw.
behind him in the picture that I assume she did the sewing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. Look at Matt Davis at the Westgate.
Just
Just-
chilling.
Just chilling
before
over there.
dinner.
It literally says, I love the Westgate, and there's Matt Davis.
Yeah.
It's like he really does love the Westgate. Here's Tess and Matt at the top
Aw.
of the world. You can see the strip right down that. I love that
It's a
view.
great pick.
Did you have the steak?
Sean O'Connor got Wagyu steak and it was delicious.
Ooh.
I felt so bad last year that I couldn't finish the steak. 'cause it
There's our
was so
team there.
expensive.
So, yeah. Just a couple picks. We did win. This was fun when we won the best camera at NAB from Videomaker for the Move SE.
What's new in NDI 6? Did you catch anything interesting?
Yes, there's some really cool new stuff. They're doing some improvements. One of the things that you're going to hear a lot about, and Tyler, maybe we could do a demo of the 12X for you as well. I saw that in the chat. But there's some really cool things happening with NDI in the cloud. And so NDI Bridge, for example, is getting some significant improvements. And they're working on a lot more with NDI high efficiency to make it more efficient. There wasn't any groundbreaking new tools that I saw, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. The things that we talked about was the bridge, getting bridge to the cloud, and some more optimization for high efficiency to work on like cellular networks, like 5G.
We've got about 50 seconds until the official live stream starts. For those who have been tuning in for the pre-show, this is our brand new pre-show podcast. Let us know in the chat if we should keep doing it and if you enjoyed it. We also have a Zoom call Q&A for after the show that I will share information in the chat for soon. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, be sure to check us out on YouTube to watch the live show at PTZOptics.
Thank you guys for letting me interview you.
Good job.
This was fun. We should do it again.
Yeah, it's my dream and you guys are just living in it. I'm just kidding.
All right, so we'll wrap things up here and let Mike cue the show.
All right, sounds good.
Hello and welcome to PTZOptics Live. We are live the last Wednesday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Thank you so much for joining us in the live chat. We are live today, so be sure to ask your questions to us and say hello. Let's get into things here. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing great. Welcome everybody to the PTZOptics live stream. I hope you guys like the audio today. We've upgraded to these podcast microphones, always kind of tweaking and changing things. Today, we are excited to announce the PTZOptics Move SE camera line. Not only are they going to be shipping very soon, but they also won Best Camera at NAB this year from Videomaker. So very excited to show this camera off and let these wonderful women do some house cleaning and introductions over here.
House cleaning?
Isn't that what it's called?
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping?
Oh, that's funny. It does say house cleaning in the notes.
Do some house cleaning. I'm sorry.
This is
Great.
actually a cleaning show.
Yes, we will be cleaning the studio for you today. It's going to be lovely. I mean, it doesn't even...
How to clean your studio with Tess and Lindsay.
We'll save that for next time. So for the housekeeping today, today's show is going to be all about NAB Show Live. We just got back this past week from the official NAB show. We're going to share everything that we did at the show with you and talk a little bit more about the Move SE. That's right, our latest innovation that was award-winning as of NAB, and can't wait to show that to you. What's going on in the world of social, Lindsay?
I was actually just trying to pull up everything because I wasn't using my laptop during the podcast. So
do you want to
take it away?
Do you want to do me a favor though? Can you go ahead and paste the Zoom info in the chat for our friends today?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. We are going to have a Zoom Q&A after the show today, so make sure you stick around for that so we can chat in person and answer any questions you may have. Let's get into it. Already getting some questions. Paul, also thanks for the unofficial NDI book that helped me get going last year when we were buying our TriCaster.
Oh, you guys are welcome. Very welcome. Yeah, I think it was just about 2021 when I wrote the unofficial guide to NDI with help from Dr. Andrew Cross and Michael Cornett, who was with NDI at the time before NewTek was purchased by VizRT. But yes, the unofficial guide to NDI is available for free on our website if you're interested in downloading it. If you are interested in having it translated to another language, that's a project we're working on soon. So.
Ooh, a super secret translation project. So let's get into it. Let's start things off with the Move SE. Move SE won big this year.
So the Move SE won best camera. We got a cool little picture of it here. So this is exciting. I've got one in front of me here. I like to look at the back of these cameras, so I'll flip it over to show the back, but I don't know. Maybe Mike can zoom into it. Who knows? Maybe we have a picture of it. But the cool thing about this camera is it's very much similar to our PTZOptics Gen 2 cameras, but it has just everything you guys asked for from an improvement perspective. It's available in with IP video, with SDI, with USB, with HDMI. It has built-in auto tracking, and that's available with optical zoom lenses of 12x, 20x, and 30x. And you can see here the both the gray and the white colors. The cool thing about the auto tracking that we found is that, so this is built in. So there is a computer vision chip built into this camera, which allows you to do the speaker selection. So it is not just based on motion like some of the other tracking cameras that we've seen in the past. These allow you to specifically select a person on stage or on camera or at the front of a classroom, only track that person even if other people walk into the frame. So that's huge with this. And it comes in at a $999 price point. So less expensive than our Gen 2s and better. And Tess, there's something here I just noticed. It has a Kensington lock, which I know a lot of our customers were looking for.
That's right. For those who aren't familiar with what a Kensington lock is, let's cover that.
Yeah, so a Kensington lock is a little, to be honest, it's kind of hard to explain what it is because it literally just looks like a little hole, but it actually is a specific Kensington lock that you can stick in there and then it won't come out. So you can lock this to something else, and it's much more secure than just using like a screw here at the bottom. But yeah, this is 1080p 60 video. It will work with USB now. So USB-C, HDMI, and SDI. There is PoE, of course, or you can power it over a power port here. So 5-year warranty for a camera that's starting at just $999 with the built-in auto tracking. And when we build a camera here at PTZOptics, we'll really look at it as a platform that we're going to keep for 3 to 5 years, meaning continuous improvement. So if you were a customer of ours over the past 5 years and you had a problem with your camera, you knew you had a 5-year warranty. So that means our support team will, walk you through any issues that you might have. They'll repair the camera for you over that time, replace it if anything goes wrong. But most importantly, our engineering team is continually adding more features. And when I think about what got added over the past 5 years on our Gen 2s, we're talking about SRT calling to the cameras, motion sync, which is the ability to have pan, tilt, and zoom happen at the same time. So your presets have this very smooth motion. I mean, I could go on and on with the things that happened over the past 5 years. All of that is included in the Move SE, but it also includes the next 5 years. We never charge for our updates. So when you get a PTZOptics camera like this, even though it's 1080p 60, right? It's not 4K. We do have the 4K models. They're a little bit more expensive. They have some cool options that you can do with 4K, even if you're using it in an HD or full HD environment. But this, I think, is going to be the right camera for a lot of our customers who are saying, hey, I'd rather get 2 Move SEs and have a 1080p setup than just one 4K camera,
Right.
right? So that's my pitch, and I'm sticking to it on the Move SE. I think a lot of people are going to be really happy at this price point. And I think there's a lot of people that are just getting into PTZ, and they're going, oh, I've got some manual cameras. I've got a Blackmagic camera or this or that. But what if I had a friend who could operate it, zoom it in, move it around? Oh, it tracks me by myself. I don't even need a friend with a joystick to operate it. It'll follow me anywhere in my studio, in my presentation space, even if you're a band on stage. So the auto tracking built in is my favorite feature. What's your favorite feature, guys?
My favorite feature is probably the fact that we've combined all of the outputs from our Generation 2 cameras into one camera. I just feel like that's going to give our users a lot of flexibility that they might not have had before and save them a lot of money as well. So that's probably my favorite feature. Lindsay? I knew she's going to be like,
I think Lindsay likes the
"What?"
Kensington lock.
The Kensington lock. No, just
Definitely
kidding.
She likes to lock it
Kensington
down.
I like that Kensington lock. No. I'm gonna have to say the auto tracking.
Auto
Just
tracking
whatever-
is probably
the follow
the big
around
one.
thing.
Yeah, you can't beat the auto tracking. And if you guys have seen the auto tracking, you know that you can select between different people, so the presenter lock. And honestly, they're making the auto tracking a lot better. And I think I'm allowed to talk about it, but maybe, and I'm happy to talk about some of the new things we're doing in auto tracking. But let's answer some questions because they're flying in.
They are flying in. Hey, Matt. I see Matt's in the chat. Okay, a lot of auto tracking questions. Let's start with the USB question regarding uncompressed USB.
Oh, uncompressed USB.
I don't know.
Okay, here's what I know, and maybe Matt and some other people will chime in on this. So the camera is 1080p 60. It's got the USB-C, it's got the HDMI, it's got the SDI. HDMI and SDI are simultaneous, meaning whatever you set one or the other two, they will always be the same. So 1080p 60 by default. When you plug in USB, it does an auto negotiation, and we're not shipping this camera yet, so I still haven't figured out every detail about it. It is shipping very soon. Is it fully uncompressed? I'm not sure, and maybe someone will get an answer to us in this session. I think Matt Davis will let us know. But there are some trade-offs with USB if you're using 1080p 60 on the other two outputs. So there's going to be multiple selections to optimize. Literally, what we're trying to do is value engineer the chip on boards because it's only capable of so much. And if you really want to have 1080p 60 out of your USB, I'm not 100% sure, but you might have to drop down some of the other video outputs. So we'll get you an answer on that soon, hopefully.
Chip size. We're getting a question about chip size. I see some specs on here.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the data sheet so that I can say it exactly.
0.8 inches.
Yeah, so
CMOS.
1 over 1.8? Is that it?
It says 0.5 inches. 1 over 2.8.
Oh, I guess
Does that make sense?
we haven't published. So the Move SE page isn't done yet, huh?
I know it's not up yet.
All right, so it should be soon, huh? Well, it's all okay. So the data sheets haven't been published yet. I will pull one up here.
And they usually wait on the data sheets to
Till
finish
the end.
page.
Yeah, so it is 1 over 2.8. So
that's the way to say it. 1 over 2.8.
Yeah, 1 over 2.8. So it's like a little bigger than a third inch CMOS with 2.2 million pixels. So it has better quality than our Gen 2s. It does look better than the Gen 2s, but it's very similar in its capabilities.
Getting a common question about controlling the auto tracking feature without the remote. So
yeah, and that's something we can show today, actually. So I'm happy to do that and log into a camera and show that because that's going to come up quite a lot.
It will.
I need to pull up. I'm going to pull up a camera and we can show that because there's a lot happening with that's getting a lot better. So I'm just going to pull up one of these cameras here to show that. So because there are some new features with auto tracking, especially if you are a new Move 4K customer. You've probably already seen this. But we're rolling out some firmware updates to do a better job. Okay, so here we are here. If I go into control, you have the ability to turn on and off auto tracking via, we talked about this earlier, via like the SuperJoy, PTZOptics SuperJoy. You could do it with a Stream Deck because it has an HTTP command that you can send to the camera.
You make a custom button for
You
it.
create a custom button. That means you can do it with OBS even, but you can also do it with the web interface of the camera. And I pulled it up to show. And a couple of the features that we're trying to work on. So this camera here has been customized to the Stream Geeks colors here.
Love that.
Which is fun to show. Like you can put your own logo and your own colors into the web interface. But no matter what you're going to see here is in camera settings, you have this control tab, and then one of the control tabs is the auto tracking tab. And this is where you can turn on and off auto tracking. Now, when I hit on for auto tracking and hit apply, what's going to happen is it's going to go to preset 0 and then start tracking. You'll notice, so now it's tracking me. And I'll just do a quick little demo.
Oh, let me steal it. No way, Jose.
So I don't have a wireless mic anymore, but one of the things you'll notice is that it says bounding boxes basically have select target. So you didn't see any boxes come up on the camera, which is good. You don't want that. But if you did want to see it, you've got this debug mode. But the point I was getting to is that let's say when you start tracking, you actually want the camera to go to a specific area, like the front of a stage where a pasture might be or something. What you do, and I'll zoom it into where I'm at. What you do is you set it for preset 0. So you take preset 0 and you set it. And now when I call auto tracking, it's going to go there and select the first subject that it sees. Turn that on, click apply. And so it's going to zoom into there. Now, another feature, and now it's auto tracking me. Now, another feature that people have asked for is the ability to have it just pick up auto tracking wherever it is. So if you're manually controlling a joystick controller and you want the camera to zoom in, to start tracking what the subject that you already have the camera on, that's a feature we're going to be adding to the new firmware. And then if you want the camera to go to a specific position when you stop tracking. So just some things that we're adding to make the tracking more fluid and easier for operators to toggle between, because what we're seeing in the field now that these cameras are out there and the Move 4K is shipping today, and many thousands of customers have them now, is that a lot of people have a joystick controller and they're controlling 2 or 3 cameras manually and toggling 1 or 2 on and off and selecting different people that they want the camera to track. So we're working with you. We're listening to your feedback. And if you want to join the PTZOptics user group, which is available on Facebook, you can our engineers are literally, they're in there and they are listening to the comments.
They're watching.
They're
in there, and Lindsay's in there. And Lindsay is even posting polls in there to learn from you guys and allowing you to voice your opinions directly to our engineers here at PTZOptics.
SGE 1899 wants to know if it's possible to change auto tracking configurations, like selecting other people with other software or over HTTP commands. Can you set those custom buttons to do the toggle?
That is another feature that has been requested, and it is not available. I will say currently it is not available in the firmware today, but that is definitely, again, one of those things where we ship products, you know what I mean, and we make them better and better. And so we have shipped a product that currently uses the IR remote to switch between people, and we are looking for those HTTP commands to be integrated in an upcoming firmware release. And then once they're in the HTTP firmware or in the HTTP API for the cameras, then we can also add it to the web interface. And there's a lot that our engineers are tweaking and tuning, and that's their job. Like that, we have we have a big team of people, and their job is to improve these cameras over time. So that makes it fun for us because during the live streams, we're going to be showing new things every month about what these cameras can do. In fact, the first Move 4K live stream till today, there's new things in here that we're showing off.
There's already been firmware updates.
Yep.
So make sure you have the latest firmware in your web UI. Okay, we've got more questions if you want me to go through
it.
Okay. Just joining, not sure if they already asked and answered, but is there availability date for the PTZOptics Studio Pro camera?
Oh, Tess, I'll let you answer that one.
Well, we know a little bit more than we're able to tell probably at this point, but it's coming very soon.
Yeah, I would say if we're in April, it'll definitely be shipping before June.
Yeah, before your summer vacations.
Are we allowed to say why it's taking so long? Because I think it's kind of funny.
Oh, do you know why? You might know more than me then.
I heard that whenever they put the audio in, it
Yes.
was too much. And
There was an audio. It was a
blew
3.5 millimeter audio input
You know more than me
issue.
on that.
And we so the thing is, we've got them built. They are built. They are manufactured, but they are being opened up, and just a small amount of reconfiguring's happening. They go through thorough testing, and we were hoping that they'd be, we forecast them to be shipping now, but it looks like it's going to be, just a couple more months.
And when are the SEs coming out?
So the SEs are closer, honestly, and they're available in 12x, 20x, and 30x. We have them made. They are coming to our warehouses. They're going to go through a QA. There's going to be a final firmware check. We try to ship as fast as possible. And one of the things that I'll mention, and I can show this on my screen too if you want to see, is that the cool thing, and it's really not that, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but there's a button on the PTZOptics Cameras interface for Move SE and Move 4K where you can just go to it, click it, and it's going to check for a new firmware update. So I don't know if you want to show that, Mike, or not, but there's a little button, and I should probably not show this one, but anyway, click for a check firmware update. Your firmware is up to date. But if you get a brand new SE or a brand new Move 4K, it's possible that you're going to want to click that button and get the new firmware, but we've made it so easy. Just click up, it's up to date, and then you're going to get all the new firmware features. So sometimes the firmware holds us up, and then sometimes we just go to the engineers and we go, hey, let's ship this thing. It's working. We know you want to add more features. And then you guys are just going to have to hit that check firmware update. And then that way you get your camera. It's working. You're good to go. But then you also get the new features.
Is pricing released for all three models for this?
Yeah, so it goes in $99 increments. So it would be $9.99 for the 12X, $10.99 for the 20X, and $11.99 for the 30X.
There you go.
Yeah.
Still cheaper than any PTZs we've released.
It's our most affordable camera, again, with our industry leading 5-year warranty. And we really think this is going to allow people to put more cameras into their productions. And so from a multi-camera perspective, this is going to be a really good win for everyone.
How can I upgrade my older PTZOptics cameras?
Well, one great thing that you can do with your older PTZOptics cameras, especially the Gen 2s, is if you download the PTZOptics CMP. It's a free software. We did a stream on it last month, I think.
We did.
And that software will add auto tracking to your PTZOptics Gen 2 cameras. So you can use that software to check for firmware updates, manage all of your cameras, get better control of them, do better color matching with those cameras, and give them the ability to have auto tracking. And you can actually have 4 cameras gain auto tracking with the CMP at the same time.
What settings, speed, zoom, etc., can you apply to the auto tracking setting?
So those are some other things that we're hoping to have a little bit more control over. Right now, the speed is currently set at a speed because it is what we call a single sensor auto tracking camera, meaning there is no reference camera. If you look at a camera like the HuddleCam HD Simple Track 2, it has 2 cameras. Now, it's only a 1080p camera, and the Move 4K is 4K. But if an auto tracking camera has 2 sensors, one of them is a wide angle that always can kind of see where the subject is. And the other one is the optical zoom one that follows them around and has robotic PTZ camera control. The Move 4K only has one sensor, one lens to deal with. So it has to have a certain level of speed to be reliable and be able to keep track of people. So the speed is something that the engineers think they have pretty well done. It'll track slowly when it needs to, but it'll speed up if the object gets too far to the left and right. So that's something that speed control is something that I think the engineers are going to want to try to optimize for on your behalf. But I'd like to see more control over framing and composition, which we are also working on in an upcoming firmware update.
All right, what do we have next here? Is it possible to use NDI stream and HD-SDI outputs simultaneously?
So yes, with the Move 4K cameras, you can use NDI simultaneous with HDMI. Now, one thing to note is with the Move SE cameras, they have SDI and HDMI; those are simultaneous. But with the Move 4K, just because it is all the outputs are 4K, you cannot do SDI and HDMI simultaneous. You need to choose one or the other.
All righty. There's a bunch of questions piling up in Zoom as well.
Oh, good. Well, let's answer them, and we'll join the Zoom call in about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll let you guys open your mics and talk directly to us.
Do we want to cover a little bit about NAB?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
We have a video to show you, a couple videos to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what we did at NAB and what we showcased. So, Michael, if you want to pull that up, we'll take a quick look there. We had a great time at NAB this year. We showed off a bunch of brand new products, a brand new line of PTZ cameras from PTZOptics. So let's take a closer look.
Hi, I'm Megan Dutta with Launchcode, and I'm here with Tess from PTZOptics at the 2023 NAB show. Tess, how's the show been for you so far?
The show has been amazing. Thank you, Megan. We're just so glad to be here this year, and everything's back in action, and there's so many people. It's great.
Yeah, their booth has been so busy. We've been waiting to film this interview because there's been no room for us. So I'm excited to have you take me through, and we're going to see some of the products. Let's start with the Link 4K right here. Tell us a little bit about that product and some of the benefits for its users.
Absolutely. This is our Link 4K, our brand new Dante model. So this is the first Dante camera that we've ever had. So now you're able to implement video into your existing Dante system. So we're hoping that this camera really segues us into the Pro AV market and helps our customers that are implementing Dante systems to be able to capture video as well. And it's also a 4K camera, so that's pretty cool. And it's auto tracking. And much like the Move 4Ks that we're going to discuss in a few minutes here, we've combined all of our camera outputs into one single unit. So it has SDI, IP, HDMI, and USB outputs.
Which markets do you think are going to have the biggest use for it? Is it going to be like education, corporate?
Yeah, definitely. When I talk about Pro AV, I'm talking about education and corporate settings. But it's a little bit interesting to see that the broadcast market is adapting some of Dante as well. I mean, we know that all the audio broadcasters out there are using Dante, so it makes sense to have video implemented in that capacity as well.
So let's move this way a little bit. Yeah. Do we want to talk about the joysticks?
Yeah,
I know these are some award-winning. The SuperJoy joystick, I believe, is the one we're on, right? Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
I'm impressed. So the SuperJoy is sort of our old trusty. I mean, this has won tons of awards, and it's a really, really full, capable joystick. It has NDI or IP or serial control. And what's cool about it is it has more options than just your standard IP joystick. We have knobs for fine-tuning like focus and zoom, and you can also access the OSD of the camera and different features like iris settings and red and blue gain. And then, of course, you have your general camera presets. There's 6 camera hotkeys that you can select between 6 cameras, but it can do up to 255 cameras or something like that because it is an IP joystick. And it really makes production easier because you can grab any of your cameras on your network with NDI, and then you can connect right into the joystick with that NDI functionality. So it's a really, really good product.
Exciting. And next we have the Move 4K. Is this a new product?
Yes, so we have a whole new line of PTZ cameras this year, and so we're really excited to have been sharing that at NAB, and just seeing everybody's reaction to that has really got us enthusiastic about the release of these cameras. This camera is now shipping, and it's a 4K auto tracking camera, so it's 4K 60, and just like the Link, we've combined all of our outputs, so you no longer have to make that selection, and we're trying to make sure that our customers are no longer limited to an output selection, so it does have NDI, IP, HDMI, USB, and SDI.
And it must be pretty durable because it comes with a 5-year warranty. We love a long-term warranty.
Yes, all of our all of our cameras in general come with a 5-year warranty, so we're pretty proud to do that, and that's free of cost. That's included with the cameras, so pretty exciting.
Exciting. Let's move it along here and then talk about this.
Yeah, for those of you who are not needing serial control or not needing NDI, this is our IP joystick, our PTZOy G4. And much like the SuperJoy, you're able to access features like white balance, iris, red and blue gain, near and far focus, as well as zoom. And it's really just a durable, complete package for camera control. It can connect to any camera that's on your network and give you PTZ functionality and allow you to switch between multiple cameras.
And then we have another one right here that we're going to keep going down and checking out.
Last joystick but not least, this is our brand new HDJoy G4. It's a serial joystick controller, so you're able to control multiple cameras if you'd like to daisy chain them, but it does go directly into the back of your camera to the joystick. So for those of you who are just looking for a simple, easy connection to the camera, this is going to do it for you. It has new rubberized ergonomic buttons, and it also has those quick...
All right, I'm just cracking up over here at myself in the video. It's so funny watching yourself back.
I know it is funny. And so I think we're gonna jump into the Zoom session so that we can allow everybody there to ask questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Good job, Tess.
Thanks. Except for calling the SuperJoy old trusty. It's so funny just to listen back to the silly things you say, but we got a good laugh at it over here. Can the SuperJoy be accessible remotely?
Yes. So I'm glad you asked that question. So the SuperJoy and the PTZOy G4 both gain an IP address over the local area network. So it's usually right at the top of the joystick. Now, one of the new things, and this was discussed in our SuperJoy webinar tests, that was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, the SuperJoy webinar.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go back to that, that's the webinar to look for. In the networking settings area, there is now the ability to put in a dynamic DNS address into your SuperJoy so that you can control it from anywhere in the world. Dynamic DNS is, of course, a service you can use to provide basically a web, almost it's like a website address essentially that dynamically will go into your public IP address and route to the port where your local IP address of your joystick is. I hope that's a good explanation of what it does. But yeah, a lot of people want to control their SuperJoy from remotely. And so you have the ability, another thing you can do, by the way, is the SuperJoy has a web server. So it actually has a link for smartphones. So you can control the SuperJoy with your smartphone on the same network as long as it's connected to Wi-Fi.
There you go. Now, we just posted the Zoom link in the YouTube chat, so if you want to go ahead and jump on that Zoom call, we can communicate two-way here. Web
Nice.
2.0 style.
Web 2.0, did you say?
Yes.
That's funny. Because like technically, that's funny you said that because it's actually Web 3.0 right now. It actually, like that's what people say. It's like, oh, Web 3.0, what's that? And that's like the next version. Like, I guess Web 1.0 was like regular websites that just were like public. And I think Web 2.0 was like when Facebook came out where you could like log in and,
It's still
and chat and stuff.
two-way.
Oh, okay. That's what
That's
you're
it.
going
It's
with. Okay.
two-way communication.
You're
But
right.
3.0 probably does make more sense because you're
It's
actually
live
seeing,
streaming.
Yeah, you're in real time
Real time,
communicating.
yes.
Actually, let us know in the Zoom chat. Hello, Jeff from Canada. Curious what you created your spinning 3D block with. Ooh, this is when we need Mike to have his mic on.
I know what
Was
he
that
did.
A
I know what
Nubu
he
thing
did.
or a
So,
vmix thing?
that's a vmix thing. Vmix has some really cool new titles, and one of them just takes a square image, and just somehow uses some magic to make it spin like a 3D cube.
It's vmix magic essentially, but we
Yeah.
are using vmix.
It's vmix and Blackmagic. It's built in Blackmagic to vmix.
Let's make sure you guys can hear us in the Zoom call.
Oh, good idea.
And if you want to turn your microphone and video on and ask us something, please use the raise hand feature within Zoom, and we will go ahead and call on you.
Yeah, don't get too rowdy over there, but we do want to hear from you guys.
We do. Okay, here's another one from Hank. What's the current broadcast res and frame rate?
So we're streaming in 4K 60. So you should be able to watch this in 4K at 60 frames a second on YouTube right now.
Where'd you see that?
In Zoom. I'm going over the Zoom questions. You might have had to have the Zoom call open before. Like, you might not have had it open soon enough to get some of these. Or maybe it's just because I'm the host.
My
seeing
first is at 2:08 p.m.
Oh.
Is this before 2:08?
It was at 2:10.
Oh.
Okay. Is there new firmware for auto tracking on the Move 4K?
Yes. There already has been one, and they're working on obviously another one soon. And the rate at which they're releasing them is impressive in my opinion. But yes, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to say what's coming in the next one. But what I will say is we've heard that you guys want more control over composition, meaning
Yes.
you know you want a headshot, you want a head and shoulders, you want a wide shot, things like that. Like we have heard that request, and they're working on some composition things. Whether some people even want to have the auto tracking, the object be further to the left or the right and not quite in center, for example. So a lot of cool stuff coming from the composition perspective. And if you go to your firmware page, and I was showing that, and I can show it to you again here on my screen capture if you want to show that, Mike. But in the system settings area, you can click the check firmware button. Boop. Click the button. It says firmware's up to date because I updated mine. If you go to the camera settings into the control area where auto tracking is, you can see we can turn auto tracking on and off. The big thing that we can turn off is turn off the bounding boxes. That was something that in the very first firmware we were releasing, it didn't do that. Or you can just show bounding boxes to select a target. Or here's one I'll show real quick is the debug mode. And what that does, I just started tracking. That is going to show you the whole time, basically what's going on. You can see it's locked on the test there. But I'll take that off. There we go. Sorry.
Yay. Events Unlimited says, that's it. I'm buying a SuperJoy along with 2 SEs. And they love you.
Hey. Hey.
He loves you back. Don't worry.
Sending you love through the interweb.
All right. Heading back over to the Zoom chat here. What network switch are we using? Or would we recommend for 4 PoE cameras and a controller?
What network switch?
Yeah.
For 4 PoE cameras and a controller. I'm a fan of TP-Link, and I'm also a fan of Netgear. So I know there's a lot of different budgets out there. The Netgear M4250 is the top of the line NDI certified, Dante certified AV, Pro AV network switch. If you're just using the network switch for just control and power, which a lot of people do, and they're doing video over HDMI or SDI, then the management and quality of service of the video going over the network switch is not as important. So you can get away with a much less expensive network switch. But if you are using NDI and you have other important things on your network, like maybe you're using Dante, maybe you're using RTSP video, and you're worried about latency and getting everything correct, especially if you're using Dante audio or audio over IP, and you're trying to get everything to sync together properly, looking into a managed, network switch like the Netgear M4250s is a really good idea.
Okay. I'm looking for a YouTube video right now because I know we have one. There was a question on how to remotely control your PTZ cameras from a distance, not on the same network.
Now I just posted a blog post about that too.
Oh, did you?
So if you go to
find it.
PTZOptics.com/blog, it was like 4 or 5
We
blogs
always get
ago.
these questions.
I went over like 5 different ways to do this. And there's some easy ways. All of them require a little bit of networking knowledge. Obviously, your camera has to be on the network if you want to control it remotely. But then there's a couple different ways to use
Here it is.
dynamic DNS, control the SuperJoy remotely, like we talked about. You can control. I've controlled a camera at my home with my smartphone. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can use SRT for video, and then use an outside IP address for PTZ control. There's a lot of cool things you can do.
Lindsay's like, "Hi, Mom."
Well, the slider cam turned on.
Do we
I was like,
recommend
oh,
static
ooh.
IP addresses for PTZOptics cameras?
Yes, 100%. Now, the PTZOptics Move camera series, meaning the Move SE and the Move 4K, they have a web server built in. And so when you plug a PTZOptics camera into your network, you can just go to ptzoptics.local / and it will just, that was where the camera will be. You don't even need to know the IP address. But where you do need to know the IP address is when you're putting it into vmix, or you're putting it into OBS, or you're putting it into a Stream Deck, or you're using an IP joystick. Usually you need to use the IP address to let the device know where it's sending the commands to, because those commands are like usually Visca over IP or are HTTP commands, that there's a piece of that command that is, where is it going on your network? And it's like a mailbox, right? It's like, that's the address. Now, you do have the option to do either DHCP or static IPs for these cameras. DHCP means, hey, I'm on your network. I see that your router has DHCP. Your router knows what IP addresses are already out there, because you can't have the same device with the same IP address, obviously. So, Mike, your private chat is coming up on screen. Okay. Now it's not.
Yay.
And basically, if you use dynamic DHCP, then it'll just get an IP address from your router, and it will work. But if you turn your camera on and off, or your router decides to send, the IP address might change. So we do really recommend getting a static IP address, so it will never change. No other device in your network will be given an IP address of that by your DHCP router. And then you can do what we do, like literally what I'm doing right now, and I can share my screen if you want to show this, Mike. But I think it's interesting that this is how we generally will do it here, where we'll have all the IP addresses of all the devices on our network. And you can see here, it's like, here's the IP address. We were playing around with multicast, but not 100% necessary. The camera model, the name of the camera, the location, and then we've even got like some NDI decoders here, even the joystick, so that we know all the IP addresses, and they're very easy to manage. And a lot of professionals will do this. They'll write down, and also keep the IP addresses sequential here, as you can see. There's no need to do totally random addresses. Might as well be like 61, 62, 63.
Yes, that helps things. Definitely. Patrick says we use static IP addresses for 3 PTZ cams at our church. Never have to worry about connectivity.
Yep. I honestly think it might make your computer 1 millisecond faster, because it just doesn't have, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong, but it's just smart. It's just good. It's just a good way to go.
Woodbridge Community Church, the phone app also works for discovering new cameras.
Yes, that's a good point. So the PTZOptics iOS app will discover the cameras on your network. So, and so will the PTZOptics CMP. Here's my question to you, Tess. Is the Mac version of the CMP out yet?
No.
It's still
not
out?
to my knowledge.
Okay.
I haven't been.
hoping
That's something
that
we
was
should have
gonna take
asked
too long.
yesterday, and I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking.
I guess we're gonna, at this point, we're gonna have to make like a dedicated video on this,
I think so.
or some type of huge social media announcement, Lindsay.
We're
Like
gonna need to
everywhere.
take this on. Yep.
TikTok and
TikTok.
everything.
Remember, if you do want to engage with us in real time, you can use the raise hand feature in Zoom, and we will unmute you. We need the Mac version of the CMP, please, says Patrick.
I'm sorry.
Just
I don't
send that over
know
to
what's going on
engineers.
with that.
I'm sure they're watching.
We need to put the pressure on. If you join the Facebook user group and just put the pressure on, I don't even know if that's going to help. And I'm sure the engineers would be like, why are you telling them to do that?
Well, they want to do what's top priority for our customers. So if they find it really impactful, then that might help.
yeah,
But I'm sure that they're working hard on it already.
they
I'm
are.
surprised they're not over here already smacking us for something.
We'll get it after the show. Is the full version of the CMP out yet? I only have the beta version.
The Windows version is fully out. The full non-beta version is out. The Mac version looks like it got delayed.
Yes. Come on, Tess, we need it.
Yeah,
Wow,
Tess.
they're really eager.
Tess, go
I'll do
work
what
on
I
it.
can.
Go
What do
right
you think
now.
I know coding?
Go right now, Tess.
You need to go
Strap the live view
learn-
All right.
backpack on. Get the live view backpack. Why don't you just
Get the
stream
class.
it?
Head into the lab.
Go take the Udemy course.
The
for
Udemy
coding.
course for like extensive program building.
Go down the street to Westchester University.
Get a quick degree.
Mm.
All right, that might be it for us today. Is there anything else that we want to
Okay.
cover before signing off?
Well, thanks, guys. Our next live stream is going. Do you have something, Lindsay?
No.
She's
Okay.
looking at
I
her
was just
notes.
Just like flapping the notes around. Next show will be on the PTZOptics Link 4K.
That's right.
So
We're talking Dante.
if you're a Dante user and you want to, I would love to chat with you. So send me an email at paul@ptzoptics.com. We're really looking for some people who are Dante users who would really do well with a Link 4K camera. Maybe get one of the first ones that we ever ship. So if you're a Dante user, let us know. And we're looking for some case studies. We're looking for some people to work with. The cool thing is that the Dante Link 4K cameras will automatically sync with the Dante audio that you might have on your network. It's automatic. It works with the the clock leader on your clocking system for automatic synchronization of audio and video in Dante network. So we're really excited about that. That'll be next week with Audinate, next month with Audinate. May 31st, I think it is.
yes,
if
May
memory
31st, the
serves.
last Wednesday of May.
I will
Correctly.
be here.
Oh, we're gonna miss you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out west.
Oh.
Oh no.
I'll wave from
Who's
the
going to
Teton.
host the
I'm gonna have
podcast?
to. Yeah, who's gonna ask us questions on the podcast? We're gonna have to invite Michael in.
Maybe I'll just strap a live view
Hey.
and I'll be in
There
like,
you
the
go.
Grand Canyon. No, I'll be in Vegas at that time.
Oh, that's funny.
Tess, you can handle it. Hashtag Tess is tough.
Oh, Tommy
Nope.
Willis, how you doing?
My show. Just kidding.
It's funny how you have your he has his own hashtag for you. So all I have to say is Tess is tough, and
I know who it is.
you know it's from
Of
Tommy Willis.
course.
It's funny. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. What a blast. We like doing this. We're going to do more. Might even do another podcast one of these days.
Like May 31st, probably. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, that's what helps us be able to continue doing this and bringing you this content. And we'll see you on May 31st.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.